Logan the Layman Critic here. Today I'll be reviewing Sonic the Hedgehog 2, directed by Jeff Fowler. It stars Ben Schwartz, Jim Carrey, Idris Elba, and Colleen O'Shaughnessey. There might be a few spoilers, so you've been warned. Let's talk movies. Dr. Robotnik has managed to escape from his mushroom planet exile with the help of Knuckles, the last survivor of the Echidna race. Now, with the help of Tails, a twin-tailed fox, Sonic must stop Robotnik before he obtains a mystical emerald containing infinite power. When I saw this at the theater, it was full of families with kids, and they were having a ball watching it. And I have to say, I completely understand. This, ladies and gentlefellows, this is the Sonic film I've always wanted. And it took me back to my childhood in the 90s as a Sonic maniac, where I ate up everything that I could find with the blue blur. Now, with the original film, that took the approach of a fish-out-of-water adventure comedy, and this one feels closer to the world of the games. It's still very much connected to what came before, but the characters and the lore are brought front and center this time. Ben Schwartz continues to dominate in the title role, never failing to entertain with his quips and his attitude. The character's journey as a boy hedgehog seeking to be a hero might be predictable, but it's no less satisfying. And his banter with his new friend Tails and his new enemy Knuckles makes for great scenes. But let's talk about the characters for a second. Colleen O'Shaughnessey has been voicing Tails in the games for some time now. I think she started in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. And her talents translate well onto film. She captures that earnest sweetness. And Tails and Sonic, they play to each other's strengths. Tails is a tech whiz that's a bit timid in the adventure department. But Sonic, on the other hand, he's a hothead. He's always eager to get in the thick of it. And then we have Idris Elba as Knuckles. Now, I have to admit, I wasn't sure how to feel about his casting early on, but when that first trailer hit, my fears gone. Elba plays Knuckles as he was in the early games, which I love. Knuckles is crafty and strong, also a bit naive. There's been a tendency in recent years for the games and other media, most notably Sonic Boom. They have wanted to depict Knuckles as a brainless oaf. You don't have that here. Yes, he is the butt of jokes, but it's because he's from a primitive world. He's not used to technology. He's not stupid. And I think that's an important distinction to be made here. What's interesting, though, to me about these three characters is that they all have something in common. They're loners. But they're all dealing with it in their own ways. Sonic wants to be a crime fighter, while he's also keeping his adopted family at a distance. Tails has been ostracized from his kind because of his twin tails. He idolizes Sonic, and he wants to meet him, he wants to help him. And then you have Knuckles, who is the last of his tribe, and wants to restore their former glory. And seeing these three characters, their stories interact, is the strongest part of this film. It's really well woven together. Jim Carrey returns as Dr. Robotnik. His performance itself doesn't offer much new beyond a bald head and a crazy mustache. It's not the Robotnik of the games, which is how it was in the first movie. It's just Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey, and that's okay. He is a greater threat this time around with the new robots, new powers. There are Buzz Bomber robots, which I thought was a nice little connection. There's a reference to Mean Bean Machine, which isn't. There's no robots with that, but I thought it was a clever Easter egg. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 delivers on the action part, paying homage in myriad ways. Whether it's Sonic snowboarding, like in the Ice Cap Zone from Sonic 3, or clashing with Knuckles, like the Hidden Palace Zone in Sonic and Knuckles, or riding on the wings of a biplane, like Sonic 2. I mean, that's not even everything. There's plenty of stuff from the games that's brought to the screen, and it is fantastic. As for downsides, it could have been trimmed down a bit. There is a subplot involving Sonic's adoptive parents attending a family wedding, and it does eventually tie into the greater plot, but there's some material that could have been left on the cutting room floor. I would also criticize some of the more adult content that rears its head, most of which will go over a child's head, but it's superfluous. Believe it or not, it is possible for an adult to enjoy films meant for children that don't feature adult content. I don't need to have curse words or references to body shaving in my movies. Sorry, I just don't. I can enjoy a kid's film just the way it is. Thank you. But all that aside, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was an absolute blast. I highly recommend it. Kids will love it, and I think most parents will have a pretty good time with it too. So go check it out.